Hey everyone, today we're going to be making a script in our new Inferno programming language. I'll go ahead and click on this bookmark here, and then click on our virtual parameter setup, and then I'll click on new script, which will take us to our text editor. Let's go through some of the different parts that you see here. On the left is our edit window where we'll actually type the script and you can see the current status of whether it's saved or not. Over here on the right, we have our script properties screen where you can name the script. I'll name this one Hello Inferno and give it a description of our first Inferno script. Then you can pick a group for it, which will set who's allowed to edit it, and a visibility, which is who is allowed to see it. The options here are public, which means everyone can see it, or private, only people in the group or who have admin access to the group can see it. Below this, we have our testing console, where you can test the code, and below that, you can add a parameter to it. Let's add a parameter now so we can get started. When I click Add Parameter, it adds a new spot for me to assign input. I'll click on the pencil, and you'll see it selects Plow Demo, and I can grab one of our demo sites and pick a particular parameter. Let's see, how about some sort of volume maybe? Yesterday's flow, perfect. Click it and then click Confirm Parameter, and I'll name this here Volume. Now I'm ready to actually start typing my script. How do I know what to type in here? One way you might answer that question is by clicking on our support page and typing in Inferno in our search bar and going to our language reference. If you scroll down to fetching data from OnPing, it'll give you a few values to get you started. I'm going to use this value at function. The value at function, which you can see when I start typing it, takes a series of A and a time and returns an option of A. So this series of A is actually named here by volume. So it's called a series because it corresponds to a stream of values, not just one value. I'm going to go ahead and type that in, value at volume. You can see it's trying to finish typing it for me, so I'll hit tab. And then when do I want the value? Well, I want it now. So I'll go ahead and do now. And the reason it has a little question mark before it is just to say that's a parameter that you didn't have to define, so it's implicit. All right, let's go ahead and hit test and make sure we have everything working. Okay, and when I hit test, you see it shows 121.27147674560547. And technically this means that we're done. I have my first Inferno parameter, but I want to show you a few more things. We have our historical testing. So here I can see my input parameter and my output parameter right next to each other, and I can look at it for different time ranges. So let's say I wanted to see what this script would have looked like yesterday. I click this button and suddenly it's yesterday. Or if I want to look at a week ago, I can click this button and suddenly it'll be a week ago. All right, after I select my calendar range and hit test, I see a new set of values that show up here. And everything still looks great. So I'm going to go ahead and exit time travel mode for just a minute. Notice here that this value only has 2 decimals showing, and this value on the right has a lot of decimals showing. It's pretty common to want to trim that up. The reason that this here has 2 decimals is it's got a mask applied to it somewhere else. However, the values that come into the Inferno inputs are always raw values, so there's no masks applied. That way there's no surprise behavior. If I want to go ahead and mask this value, I have to apply my own mask to it. And there's lots of ways I could go about doing this, but first let's talk about this last piece, this option of A. What that is saying is that this value may or may not exist. So if it exists, it'll have a value like sum 1.0, something like that. And if it doesn't exist, it'll have a value of none. So what you can do in OnPing is you can match against that. So match value at, and again, volume now. And then it's sum val or none. This is just reproducing the same thing. I'm pattern matching to extract this value and then just putting it right back in the same pattern I matched against. One thing I can add to this is I can add another function to it. So let's go back to our function reference and look at truncate 2. This cuts off decimals after n values. So you can do truncate to 0, 1, or 2. And I want to make it match what we have. So I'm going to do truncate 2, 2. And now they match exactly. And they match exactly down here as well. So that's one way that I can do this. I can pattern match, extract the value, and apply truncate to. However, there's another way I can. I can do option.map truncate to 2, and then value at volume now. As you can see, it produces the same result. It's taking this function and jumping inside of that option and applying the function to it. Inferno is a functional programming language, and so you'll see lots of tricks like the pattern matching in map. There's also all this nice type hinting, which can tell you a lot about what you're doing. If you have any other questions about Inferno, please feel free to reach out. I'll probably write a more advanced Inferno tutorial at some point in the future. Thank you.